Hello all and welcome to Duplicate Success International Monday night webinar. Today is Monday, November 14th. My name is Randy Crebs, Executive Goal Director from Salt Lake City, Utah. I have the distinct honor of introducing the host of tonight's webinar. He is a very well-respected business leader and mentor in this industry. You'll definitely want to have your pen and paper out, sitting up, paying attention, and taking notes as you learn how this industry expert continues to build his business successfully. He has achieved the rank of Emerald Director within our company. He is the co-founder of Duplicate Success International. He is an amazing leader, mentor, and most importantly, I'm very proud to call him my son. Jared, are you on the line?
I am, Dad. Thank you so much for the great introduction. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to the webinar, especially welcome the new team members that just started with us in this past week. Very excited for you to start your USANA journey. Me and my wife, Crystal, we've been with USANA for 11 years. It's been the best decision for our finances, our health we could have ever made. In addition to that, this team is one of the biggest blessings. We love working with you. We're excited for this webinar. We have a special guest tonight that you're going to learn a lot from. And before we get into our training tonight with our special guest, I want to just remind everybody of the team DMO, daily method of operation. If you do these three things, you're going to be successful in your business. Number one, use the products every day, AM and PM. Number two, do your 2-2-2 for the day. 2 new presentation videos sent out, 2 follow-ups with prospects that are on the fence, and 2 calls to existing team members or clients. And then number 3 is 15 minutes of personal development material each day. That's reading books, listening to audios, or being on webinars. And if you do those 3 things every day, and I say, take a day off, maybe Sunday off, or one day a week off, but you stay consistent to this. Anybody can do this. We have people working 70 hours a week that do this. We have mothers of 5 kids doing this. We have people that do the DMO, and that's how you get successful at this. It's inch by inch. It's a cinch. And so I want to just encourage you, especially our new people, to keep this in mind throughout your day and go for the DMO. And we're going to start the webinar by recognizing some people who have been doing the DMO. And how can you find that out? Because they're having results. They're signing people up. So let's go ahead and first of all, recognize our new clients that started with us in the last week. Welcome Carol Craig, new client introduced by Melita Sheets. Great job, Melita, out of Portland, Oregon. Welcome Skylar Passain, new client introduced by Sally Passain. Great job, Sally. Great start to your business. Welcome Paige Lindner, new client introduced by Cheryl Nelson. Way to go, Cheryl. Welcome Marnie Reyes Garcia, new client introduced by Renee and Megan Martinez. Way to go, Renee and Megan. Welcome, Marnie. Welcome Acha Moshe, new client introduced by Lillian Galdiano. Welcome, Acha. Great job, Lillian. All right, so now let's go into our rank advancement recognition. And this past week, we had Stephanie Giles finalize as a Lifetime Premier Platinum Paysetter. Big congratulations, Stephanie. And Dad, is Stephanie on the line right now? Because if she is, I would like to say hello to her. Stephanie Giles out of, I believe I can't remember the city in Utah.
Santa Clara. Doesn't look like she's on yet unless she's on the phone. But
she's on the phone. Okay.
I don't think she's on yet.
We can have her on at the end. Big congratulations. If you're brand new and you're wondering what this is, basically to qualify as a Premier Platinum Paysetter, you have to enroll 4 associates that generate 1,600 points cumulative in your first 8 weeks. And that gives you a lifetime matching bonus on the people that you help also achieve this. And so it's really cool. It's really nice when someone achieves this, because now they're really able to take advantage of this cool bonus. So big congratulations, Stephanie. We're very proud of you. And I want to encourage you all on the webinar to go for platinum, especially the new people starting. Team recognition. All right, so we have some special recognition. Well, thank you, Mom and Dad, for introducing this slide for me and Crystal. We were, I guess, number 11 top emeralds. I actually didn't look, but it's cool to be there. So thank you, Mom and Dad. We really appreciate you putting this slide in for us. Nice picture too, baby. You look great. Daryl Tuttle, number 12, top director. Wow, way to go, Daryl Tuttle. Beautiful job. Looks like you're having fun out there in the golf course. Very proud of you. Also, 10-year anniversary with Sherry Bender. Sherry Bender is a silver director in our team out of San Diego, and she received an email from USANA on congratulating her on her 10-year anniversary as an associate. And I don't remember getting an email like that when I hit my 10 years, so maybe USANA started doing this lately, but regardless, this is really cool, Sherry. You've become family basically over these last 10 years. It's been so awesome working with you, doing convention with you every year, seeing you grow, seeing you raise an awesome family and seeing them happy and healthy with their USANA products. And you're one of our very best friends. We love you, Sherry, and thank you for staying so loyal to USANA and to our team. Special announcements. So guys, there's free optimizers through December 23rd, anytime you purchase a bag of shakes. And the optimizer choices is dark chocolate and orange or dark chocolate and banana. But that's literally unlimited. Any amount. If you order 10 bags of shakes, you're going to get 20 boxes of free optimizers. If you order 2 bags of shakes, you'll get 4 boxes of free optimizers. Literally, it's just through the December 23rd, this is the time to stock up, because those optimizers, it's like $1 a stick pack. It's like $14 off. So definitely take advantage of that through December 23rd. We're doing a team incentive right now, the Track WAP and Win. And oh my gosh, it is so close. There's only 2 weeks left. Right now, look at this. First place is tied. Stephanie, Giles, and Carmen and Byron are tied at 84 points each. Second place is tied. Carlos Gomez and Renee Martinez, 82 points each. Big congratulations to everybody who's on this list, because it means you're taking action and you're going for it. And if you're watching this and you're like, well, what is this incentive? I've never seen this. I'm not sure what this means. Basically, we're doing an incentive around getting the most points to win cash. And that cash, we want people to go to the Las Vegas event in December, GoPro. And this event is the next big event that's coming up. Eric Worre is the host of this event, Mr. GoPro himself. It's going to feature Anthony Robbins and Sir Richard Branson, who are amazing leaders in business and motivational speakers. But not only that, they're going to literally have 3 full days of speakers that are top in our industry. They only allow you on stage if you're making 6 figures annually, not 6 figures. 6 figures per month, not 6 figures a year, 6 figures a month. So this is going to be an amazing event. And just to let you know, you get points by doing these things. And obviously points for rank advancing, points for registering for GoPro, points for making your binder, points for turning in your weekly action plan on Sunday night. You get points for enrolling new associates. You also get 3 points when your new personally sponsored associate registers for GoPro. So when you get your team registered for GoPro, you get points. And so the most points is going to win. And if you don't go to GoPro, this is the cash prize. First place, $200, second place, $125, third place, $75. So if someone's not going to go to GoPro, they can still win this cash. But if you go to GoPro, the prize is double. The first place prize will be $400. The second place prize will be $250. Third place prize will be $150. Which, hey, that could pay for, your hotel for the weekend if you take first place. Or, any of these places probably pay for your food budget. But we want to encourage the behavior of attending destination events, because that is the most important part of your business, is that you attend and that you bring people with you. So big congratulations to everybody who's been working hard on this incentive. There's 2 weeks left. We believe in you. We want you to win. And we really, really appreciate all your hard work in your business. And we're excited to see how this thing ends up. So big congratulations to everybody in the running. Beast mode on. Definitely beast mode is on. And just a friendly reminder, when you enroll a new person, make sure you add them to our USANA Clients Facebook page. You can add them right there in the group, and always make a post with their picture, make them feel special and important. And then also, when you enroll a new team member, make sure you add them to our Team DSI Facebook group, which again is for our business side. Same thing, you add them there, you make a post, make them feel special and important. It's very critical that you introduce them to these Facebook pages. And then associates, and then please comment as well when you see a new person who gets introduced, please put welcome on their post, because that makes them feel very welcomed, and it creates them into this community. And then lastly, please add your associates only to Hybrid Solutions as well, which is a group of USANA associates around the world, and you add them there. You can also use this for questions. Hybrid is a great resource, so you can always search any group by typing in your question right there under search this group. Okay, guys, so we've made it to the training portion, and we have a very special guest tonight, and I know we have a lot of people on the webinar right now. So we're going to take a 5-second break just for editing purposes, and then I'm going to come on and I'm going to bring Executive Ruby Director Kate Northrup Watts on the line. So we'll talk to you in a few seconds. Hello, my name is Jared Crebs. I'm pictured here with my wife, Crystal, and our dog, Tasia. We're Emerald Directors, co-founders of Team DSI. And on tonight's training, we have a very special guest, Executive Ruby Director Kate Northrup Watts. I met Kate at our Gold Retreat in 2007, and we were both brand new Gold Directors at the time. And it was just so cool because we spent that weekend getting to know all the new Gold Directors, and I really got to bond with Kate. I got to talk with Kate. Her mother is Christiane Northrup, Dr. Christiane Northrup, who's a world-renowned doctor who's been on Oprah, who's respected around the world. But what I love so much about Kate is that she was able to build her business basically independently, and do it like it wasn't just all because her mom's Dr. Northrup. It's like she really built her business, and she's in a position now where she just had a new baby. She's recently married, and her business is a 6-figure business that is amazing asset in her life. And she helps people all over the United States. She's located in Maine, and she is on our webinar right now, and she's going to tell you her story. And I want to bring her on the line. Dad, could you please unmute Kate?
Hi.
Hi, Kate. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Yes, doing awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on our webinar tonight. We are all very excited to learn from you.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. And where are you located in Maine?
I'm in Falmouth, Maine, which is just a little north of Portland.
A little north of Portland. Okay, Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
a little
I know
town.
it's late over there, so thank you for making some time for us and being on our webinar tonight. I know you usually probably have to wake up early for your baby, so we really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I just wanted to start off by basically saying the floor is yours. We want to hear your story kind of from beginning to current, and what's been going on, and we will have some questions for you afterwards. But we are all ears. We want to learn from you and hear how we can get better, and hear some of your maybe challenges you've gone through. Hear some of the triumphs, some of the strategies, whatever you feel like is important. And the floor is yours.
All right, great. Well, thanks again for the intro, Jared. And it's such a pleasure to reconnect with you again after knowing you since 2007, when we both became Gold Directors at the same time. So it's been a long journey since then, and an exciting one. So I started my USANA business when I was 18 years old. So it's been a while. And I got introduced to it. I'd actually been taking the product since I was 12. When my aunt and uncle, Penny and Phil Kirk, they're 1-star diamond directors, they found the USANA products through a friend of theirs. They were really looking for a good supplement and had found the products, and then ended up doing the business because at the time they were looking for an alternative to create financial well-being, because they were running a lodge, and that was like a 24/7 business. But they found the products. They were really impressed by the science behind them. They had been both competitive, and my Aunt Penny was on the U.S. Ski team, and my Uncle Phil was also a competitive athlete. So they had known a lot about the nutritional industry. And when they found the USANA products, they were so impressed by the science and the research that they introduced them to my mom. And as a holistic women's health expert, she was always open to hearing about cutting edge science when it came to supplementation, because she'd always been a huge believer in that. And so she ended up talking to Dr. John McDonald, who's one of the chief scientists at USANA, and they had a great connection, and just she believed in the products right away, and we started using them as a family. And she started using them in her medical practice and saw wonderful results with her patients. And, she's been using them ever since. And that was I think that was in 1994 or 1995. So it's been a long, long tradition. We have 26 members of my family who work with USANA. So it's a long-standing Northrup family tradition. And then my own journey to the business came when my parents went through a divorce when I was 16 years old, and I saw how much financial upheaval came with that. There was just a lot of, as in any divorce, it was dramatic, and it was difficult for all involved, and particularly for my mom. At the time, she was 50. She had a New York Times best-selling book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. She'd been on the Oprah Winfrey Show several times. She had a very successful medical practice. I mean, on the outside, everything looked really good from a success standpoint. But behind the scenes, when she went through the divorce, she realized she knew nothing about money. And that was problematic, because for the first time ever in her adult life, she was on her own financially. And during that time, she started reading books by Robert Kiyosaki, and because she knew she needed to get on the fast track to financial literacy. And again, I was 16 years old, and I don't know why, but I had this insatiable appetite for books on personal finance. She was getting into this world, and I started reading these books right alongside her. And, we went to a Robert Kiyosaki workshop. We attended a workshop with Randy Gage, and we just started learning about finance. And as a result, in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he says, if you want to learn about business, you should spend 5 years with a good network marketing company. And we knew a great network marketing company because we'd been using their products for several years. And so this idea really came to pass. And what was funny is, at the time, again, I was 18, and my mom said, you should build a USANA business. It would be a great way for you to learn about money while you're in college, and build something on the side. And so I said, great, I'll do that. And, the great thing about being 18 is it's like, you don't really know anything anyway. So I just did what Penny and Phil told me. And it was great. I made my names list of 200 people. I called everybody I knew. And I did my first summer in the business. I did a weekly health and freedom presentation with a slide projector, because there was no such thing as PowerPoint then. So with a slide projector in my mom's living room every single week. And I invited pretty much all of my parents' friends and all of my friends' parents. So I really, because I was 18, I was not primarily working within my own market. And I started getting customers, and I signed up my first few associates, and I gave the worst presentations ever. I basically giggled through the entire thing. But I got the message out, and it took a while, but it worked. And when I entered college, I was already making weekly USANA checks, which was very cool. So I continued to grow my business during my summer vacations and during my winter vacations. I didn't do a lot of building. Sometimes people hear my story and ask me how to build with college students. And I just will say, that was not how I built my business. It doesn't mean you can't. I just didn't. My primary market was not college students. So, just so you know, I built again with my friends' parents and my parents' friends. And then also I built through meeting people in the community, whether it was one of my top associates now is Michaela Folks, and she was my massage therapist in college, or just different people I would meet throughout the community through networking. So that's how I grew my business at first. And then I moved to New York City, and things changed as a result of that, of course, because I was living on my own really for the first time. I ended up sort of in a situation where my mom and I went into a business partnership, and I tell the story of this in my book, Money, a Love Story. So I'm not going to get into the whole ins and outs of it now, but we ended up in a partnership after the Gold Retreat where I met you, Jared, and then a couple years later realized that really wasn't working. So I went back to building my own business. So it was sort of like a very windy path. And for me, it was a huge lesson around believing in myself. So that's been an ongoing lesson for me. And I would imagine for those listening, this is an ongoing lesson as well, which is kind of coming to that moment of, because it's so easy to look out at the other people in USANA or just the other people on social media even and say, well, that's easy for her to say. She's so, strong, or he was so successful in that other business, or wow, she's so articulate, or XYZ, right? It's really easy to give all the reasons why somebody else could do this and you can't. And the journey, as we know, with the 4 pillars of belief, there's belief in the company, belief in the products, belief in the industry, and then belief in yourself. And the key one of those, they're all important, but I think belief in yourself will make or break you the most with all of those 4 pillars of belief. And for myself, I realized I had put myself in a position where I felt like, because of my mom being who she was, this New York Times bestselling author, and this, revolutionary in the women's health field, I had sort of painted this story, or was telling myself a story that I would never have really what it took to do this business or really anything on my own. So I better, kind of hitch my wagon to hers, and she would, and sort of like, I would never have to step out on my own and feel how scary that can be. And then I wouldn't ever have to really basically get uncomfortable and show myself what I was made of. And so that was a several year journey of being in that relationship and really realizing that it wasn't working for her and it wasn't working for me. And coming out of that was when I really realized, and it was about a year after I came out of that business partnership, that I ended up going Ruby. And then around that same time, a little bit before then, I met my husband, my now husband, Mike. We met through USANA, which is kind of like a fun USANA love story, and ended up traveling the country together and taking this 10-month road trip and going on all kinds of adventures. But over the course of that time, about in our second year of being together, we went Ruby together, and it's been pretty solid ever since. So Executive Ruby. And then I got married in 2014, and we had a baby last September in 2015. So she's 14 months old. And I have to tell you, like, having a child and understanding what it takes now to be a mother, and how much dedication it takes, and how little control I have now over my time, I've never been more grateful for my USANA business. And those early months with Penelope were just really amazing, but also really hard. I had an unexpected kind of bumpy birth experience, and then just, it was like a hard couple of months. And I never really understood, about the beauty and the power of residual income until I was in a situation where I wasn't able to work, because I've never been in that situation before. I've always been healthy and able-bodied, and and young, and either single or newly married, and just totally in control of my life and my time. But it wasn't until I was in a situation where I was not in control of my time and in my life that I realized, wow, I am so grateful that I put in the time when I was able to with my USANA business, so that Mike and I can really be home with our baby girl. And now, now we're working more because she's older. But for the first 9 months of her life, I only had about 10 hours of childcare a week, and we were able to really be home with her, both of us. And it was really beautiful. And so, so that's been a huge gift of our USANA business. And ever since, let's see, in 2000, I'm telling my story in like a very non-linear way. I hope that's okay, Jared. But in 2010, I started a blog at katenorthrup.com just on a whim because I needed a source of creative expression and creative fulfillment. And so that ended up becoming a business in and of itself. And that's how I ended up writing my book and creating some online courses and getting into the online marketing, online business world. And what's been really cool is being able to combine and marry my USANA business with the online brand, and being able to incorporate those two things and reach a much wider audience than I might be able to in my small town of Maine, because of the power of the internet and because of the ability to connect with anyone all over the world. And now we have a really successful team growing in the Netherlands, for example, because they found, our team leader over there found me through katenorthrup.com. And I love the international aspect and the fact that even though, I have a book and I've been on the Today Show, and I really know the inner workings of creating a brand, having watched my mom do it and now doing it myself. And all of that is really fun and it's exciting, and I'll continue to do it because it's where I find my creative fulfillment. But what I love about the USANA aspect of our business is that it's so real. Jared, when you were doing recognition, you were recognizing a woman who's been in USANA for over 10 years and how you've gotten to know one another over that time and how she's become real like family to you. And that is the piece that I love about this business, that our team, when they are committed and when they're in for the long haul, like our team, it becomes our family. And that's why our team, we actually do call it the Freedom Family. That's our team name, is the Freedom Family, because it is the family that you choose. It's the place where you belong, where you feel that sense of belonging, and it's the people who are going to lift you up and support you. And I love that aspect, that I get to go deep with people and really know them on a level that I probably never will with some of the people in our online community, where they might take a course or be part of a Facebook group, but it's never going to be that same depth as like having, we have quarterly potlucks right here in our house and for our team. And we have a weekly coffee hour where I get together with our team at a small local coffee shop here in my hometown. And, and doing things like that creates the infrastructure. I know, Jared, you shared with me earlier that you have a weekly meeting, and that is, I know that you found this to be true, is that like, that's the piece that keeps this business going, is having people be able to be part of something bigger than themselves, and having that sense of belonging and a place to go that's positive, that's uplifting, that's inspiring, that's supportive, having a place that they feel safe. And having a place that's committed to them being their best selves, because, Tony Robbins says that happiness comes from progress and growth. And so having a community that's committed to that is, it's what keeps people around. As we know, it can take a little while for this business to get going. I don't remember how much money I made in my first year, but I know that it was, it wasn't much more than $100 a week, which was great. I mean, it was awesome to make that, especially at the age of 18, but it's not like I was, going to be living completely on that. And so it takes a while to get it going. And even now, I've been with USANA for 15, 16 years. and I'm an executive Ruby director. So you might say like, oh, well, that's, it's not exactly like the highest rank, but my business is solid, and it's given me the freedom to spend a really long time planning our wedding, to take a 4-month honeymoon, to take off, a couple weeks after our wedding, to basically nap through my entire pregnancy because I was so tired, and then to take a 3-month full maternity leave, but then also an additional 6 months where, I had only a very limited amount of childcare and I was still primarily being a mother. And it allows me to go pick up my baby girl at daycare whenever I feel like it, and not take her into daycare if I feel like having a day, and only work 3 days a week. So, so the gifts of this business are tremendous, and it doesn't mean you have to reach. Now, it's not to say to not shoot for, like, I definitely, one of our goals is to become diamond directors. And at the same time, like, this business is such a beautiful gift, no matter what rank you achieve. And I'm a huge fan of the sustainable, longer path, as opposed to the like out of the gate, huge success that then cannot be sustained. So our business is incredibly solid. It has been all along the way. Our checks are, growing steadily and solid every single week. So there are weeks when we're working on other aspects of our business and not working as much on our USANA business, and the checks remain incredibly steady. And I love that aspect. So when you build your team with the community aspects, with regular things that they can plug into, when you tap into that aspect of giving people something bigger than themselves to belong to, then that's what creates that solid auto order volume. And that's what creates the sustainability and the long-term people, where you will have more and more people celebrating 10 years or 10 years plus in the business. And that's a huge, huge thing to accomplish, Jared, is having somebody in your team who's been more than 10 years in the business. I want to congratulate you on that, because it's like a really big deal. So that's, there's so much more I could say, but that's kind of my story from the beginning. And, I have grown up in this business for sure. I started when I was 18, and my dream was always to create financial freedom by the age of 30 so that I could stay home with my kids one day. And I achieved that dream. It was not a linear path. It was much more winding than I had planned, as things always are. And I had a lot of lessons to learn along the way about self-worth and taking myself seriously, and understanding that I'm capable of doing this, even if I at first didn't think that I had what it took. And really that journey of separating my business from my mother and going out on my own has been the hugest gift, because if I hadn't done that, I never would have shown myself what I was made of. And for anybody who's in any kind of situation where, they might be in a relationship, in a business partnership or whatever, where they feel like they're not playing as big as they could, I just want to give you that extra bit of encouragement to say, when you are in a situation where you don't feel like you're playing as big as you could, it also means that's the situation for the other person. And so moving and being free from that situation always ends up being a blessing for both people. And I live 10 minutes down the street from my mom. We're just, we're the best of friends, and she's completely obsessed with being a grandmother to my daughter, Penelope, and it's great. So cleaning up our business end of things ended up really enhancing our personal relationship in a beautiful way. So that story has a very happy ending. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share so far. Jared, is there anything else you'd like me to dive into in particular?
Wow. Yes, Kate. Wow. Thank you so much. This is such a great story. I've taken how many pages of notes here? I've just took 5 pages of notes.
Wow, really? I really felt
yeah.
like I was just rambling.
Oh, no. You were not rambling. This was so good. Some of the highlights that I got from what you said tonight, 26 members of your family are in your business. That's tremendous.
That's pretty
really
cool.
I really like the name of your team, the Freedom Family. Like, wow, where'd you get that idea?
Mike and I were on a hike in Scottsdale, Arizona, while we were on our big road trip in 2011, which we called the Freedom Tour. And we were talking about wanting to create a team identity that was separate from Team Northrup, which is also our team name. So we sort of ended up with two team names. But Team Northrup, while I love it, is it has our name in it, and so it's like I don't feel like anybody can take ownership of that because it has a last name that not everyone has. And so we really wanted to create a team identity that anyone felt like they would belong to, and felt like they could succeed in, no matter what their, lineage or whatever. And so we came up with the Freedom Family while we were on this hike, and then we created it.
That's so cool. That's great. Such a great story, and it's a great encouragement, to our teams and people who are listening on this webinar now, who are building their own teams as well. And it's cool that you respected your team you came from, but then also was able to create what you did with Freedom Family. I really like that.
Thanks.
And also, I love the story about the Health and Freedom weekly meeting you did with a slide projector. And it's just funny that what worked back then still works today.
I know the technology is slightly different, but it is fundamentally the same thing.
That weekly home event that you did consistently worked in when you were 18, and it still works today. And a slide projector is just replaced with a computer going into a projector, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Also, I got some great insight on that you were a college student, but you weren't working with college students or going for college students. You were going for your parents' friends, or the friends' parents, your friends' parents,
Yeah.
or meeting people through networking, which that's how we all have to build it, and that was great. I totally forgot to mention your book. Team, you guys go get Kate's book, Money, a Love Story. I want to get that book. And I remember you were on the Today Show. I totally didn't introduce you right, but that is so cool.
That's totally fine.
Well, congratulations on that. And thank you for making a difference for our community. And I love the online branding. Some of the other things I wrote down was, you said it was a huge lesson on believing in yourself, and how, you were kind of under your mom's umbrella for the first part of your business, and that process of kind of being your own businesswoman. You had to go through that process for you to really break through in your business. And I can totally relate to that, especially in my journey as well. And the upline that I had, and what I went through as well. That I went through a very similar process.
Really?
Yeah. And that was one of my breakthroughs when I became an independent businessman, that got to make my own decisions and everything. That was obviously a key part. And so it was really cool to hear that. Sounds like we almost had the same exact story.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how you're able to be a mother for Penelope, and that you're able to still have those checks while you have little control over your time and what USANA's provided for you. That was another thing that I wrote down. And then the online branding stuff I need to learn from. I really, you're obviously way ahead in that arena, and it's really cool to see that you're doing that, and that you're a great example for us to look into that and make that part of our business strategy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Everyone can be part of that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and we want to definitely subscribe to what you're doing and learn from you. So that was basically the highlights from my notes. And I know we have a lot of team members with questions, and so I'm gonna just do some announcements for some upcoming events we have, and then if you don't mind, we'll finish the webinar with maybe 5 or 10 minutes of questions.
Great.
All right. Okay, guys. So just before we get into the questions, I want to remind you to get ready for the end of the year. There's 3 big events in 2016. We already did Las Vegas in April. We did Salt Lake City in August, and now we have Las Vegas in December. And this event is the one we talked about at the beginning, the GoPro event, December 1st through, it's actually the 1st through the 3rd. And The 4th, I don't know why that flyer says the 4th, because there's not actually a seminar training that day. It's that 4th event is only for people who like they bought 100 pack of tickets and they have a place to rent the room, and like their own room in the hotel or something. So it's really the 1st through the 3rd. But the whole point is you're hearing from people who are making 6 figures a month. I mean, it's just tremendous. Oh, I just got a text that the slides aren't moving. Kate, are you able to see the slides moving on your end? Hopefully.
They're not moving on my end.
Interesting. GoToWebinar must have, our GoToMeeting must have liked that one slide. Okay. How about now? Anything? What's going on for you, Junior?
Same.
No slides are moving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, so I'm just going to announce these anyways, just for the sake of time. And I know some of you are on the telephone anyway, so you can't actually see the slides. But GoPro is such a special event. It's not done by USANA. It's actually done by GoPro, Eric Worre himself. And the event, again, the tickets sell for $300 right now. You probably can find some discounts because people are trying to sell their tickets to get rid of them, some people that aren't going. So let's see here. I got to minimize, then come back. I'm going to minimize and then come back. Okay. That I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to worry about it. But we have team members that are going to GoPro. We have all the people listed here. Congratulations to all of you who are going to GoPro. And there's still room and there's still time. If you want to go, just let us know. We'll work with you finding you a ticket. There's roommates you can find and make this a special event. And then after GoPro, guys, mark your calendars for January 12th through the 14th in San Antonio, the La Quinta River Walk. We're going to be having a big event. It's called Challenge You. And that event is basically 6-figure earners in USANA sharing how they did it. San Antonio, January 12th through the 14th. And it's also in Salt Lake City, January 26th through the 28th. Now, if you're not in either of those two cities, choose one and fly to there and make it your event to start your year. Because you have to get professional training if you're going to take this far, and you have to do it consistently. It's just like continuing education. And these events are so fun. We bond, we're together as a team. We learn so much together. So I want to encourage you to get your Challenge U tickets and save those dates. Again, January 12th through the 14th in San Antonio, or January 26th through the 28th in Salt Lake City. And you can get your tickets at challengeuevents.com. And then ladies, save the date, the Sweet Retreat, February 2nd through the 4th. There's going to be all these great women entrepreneurs. This is a USANA event as well. So you're hearing from the top leaders, the top female leaders in USANA. My mother, Viola, and my wife, Crystal, will be at that event. And we have several ladies on our team that are going to be there. Mark your calendars, February 2nd through the 4th, and contact us if you want to be in with our table, our Team DSI table. And then everybody mark your calendar for the U.S. national celebrations going on all over the United States. In Houston, Texas, March 4th in Espanol. That's the Spanish celebration. And then in Washington, D.C., March 18th. In Chicago, Illinois, March 25th. In San Antonio, Texas, April 1st. And in San Diego, California, April 8th. So basically, these are the events that are happening in the second quarter. And any one of them is good, but choose one and go, because again, when you're in this energy, when you're learning from the top people, that's what makes all the biggest difference to your business. And then of course, the most important event of the entire year is International Convention, August 16th through the 19th. That's non-negotiable. This is hands down the most important event of the year. You hear from Dr. Wentz, our founder, all the top doctors who use our products. And you're also going to be able to hear from all these different top entrepreneurs. They always bring in special guests. But it's our 25th anniversary. At the 20th anniversary, they give everybody iPads. So yes, this is awesome. And I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get an iPad, but literally it was like an Oprah moment. It was like, you get an iPad and you get an iPad. And it was really like the nice iPad. That was the 20th anniversary. They hadn't done anything since that, like that since, but I wouldn't put it past USANA to do something really cool on the 25th anniversary. It's not just about getting a free, piece of technology. It's about being in this experience and learning from the best in the company. And it's international, so people from all the 20 different countries are going to be there. So that's Salt Lake City in August. And then also Success on the Beach, November 8th through the 12th, 2017, 5 days in Punta Cana with your USANA family. That's a trip that you can win, or it's a trip that you can just go on. So mark your calendars, November 8th through the 12th, if you want to go with us to Punta Cana. And then Texas Associates. This Thursday, November 17th, we're going to be having an event at Health Natural Solutions, 7 to 8:30. That's our local mixer in San Antonio. And then this Saturday from 2 to 3:30 at the USANA office of Ruby Perez. So we have Thursday and Saturday in San Antonio happening. Utah Associates, we're going to be having a Thursday, November 17th skincare event hosted by Randy and Viola Krebs at 6:30 p.m. And then also on Thursday, November 10th, there's going to be a home office event that's happening. So that's going to be exciting. And lastly, this is the bins that I keep in the trunk of my car. I'm always prepared. I always have GoPro books, GoPro audios. I always have Dr. Ladd McNamara audios, newspapers. I'm just always ready. And that's one of the things. If you want to make money like a pro, you have to be prepared like a pro. You always have to have your computer when you go to mixers. Take your computer because you're going to have to sign people up. Take all your forms. Do not rely on your upline for them to bring their forms. You be the leader. You be that person for change and stand for people to have better health and have an increased income with USANA. And so I want to just show you that, because that's what I want you to do. I want you to be prepared at all times and have extra tools and be ready to go. So with that said, that concludes the training portion, but we're still going to open it up with questions for Kate. And so I'm going to actually look at the line here. You can raise your hand on the webinar. There's a little spot to raise your hand, or you can send me a text or a Facebook message that you have a question. So I see here we have Luis Sanchez who texted me. He has a question. I'm going to unmute you, Luis. And let's see here. Are you there, Luis?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We have Kate live on the line. You have some questions about online branding. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, two questions, actually. You were mentioning how you were able to create a community and it helped with auto orders and getting people together. What suggestions would you have with that? And also with online branding as well. What suggestions would you have for someone who you would say is kind of beginning with that?
Great. So in terms of creating community, we keep it really simple. I do in my local area every Friday morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m. I do a coffee hour for our local team.
Okay.
And then we, everyone's welcome to invite guests, and it's just social. We hang out. Sometimes we talk about specific business stuff. A lot of the time we don't, but we always end up talking about personal growth, about health, swapping stories, and it's fabulous. And we've had, a couple people join the team simply from coming to those coffee hours and then wanting to know more about what this fabulous group of people is all about. So we do use it for prospecting, but we also use it for community building within the team. And every Friday I walk away from those gatherings feeling so nourished and uplifted, and so does everyone else. And that's why we keep coming back. So that's one thing. We also do a quarterly low glycemic potluck party where we get together at one of our local team members' houses. And again, we hang out, we socialize. It's for fun, and guests are welcome. So it's another way for our team to connect, but also for people to be able to invite guests to say, hey, I know you've been thinking about doing this business. Come hang out, get the vibe of the team, feel into whether this is a yes for you or not. And that's been really, really fruitful as well. And then we always have at convention, we have a team event just before convention, usually the night before. And then at Sweet Retreat, we also do a team gathering. Our team is mostly women, so that's why we do it at Sweet Retreat, but you could, of course, do it at any gathering. So those are the things that have worked really well for us. And then, of course, our Facebook group is really supportive and active, and people are in there, a ton of times a day, just connecting and sharing and celebrating and asking questions. And that's been really big for us as well. And then we have a weekly team call, training call, similar to this, that Jared was our guest on today, which was awesome. And then we do a monthly webinar, which is like an opportunity presentation. So that's kind of our structure for creating community. And then in terms of the online branding aspect, I really recommend, what I did is I picked the medium that felt good to me in terms of wanting to share content. And for me, that's writing. I'm a writer, so that felt really good to me. But some people are more like my husband, Mike. He's more of a video person. He does a lot of Facebook Lives, for example. He really likes video as a medium to share content, and really, like, for us, we share what we think. I mean, it's really that simple. It's like, my brand is not specifically about health. It's more about financial empowerment and creating financial well-being and abundance. It's more of a business brand. But I know, like, Elizabeth Ryder, for example, is a great model of someone who has branded herself online with a health brand. So both of those are great models, and you could do more of a personal growth focus. Mine's definitely sort of a financial well-being, personal growth focus, but every week I blog about whatever I feel like blogging about, and people read it. And I have a relatively large subscriber list. And then occasionally I mention USANA as if you want to work with me, if you want to know more about applying some of the concepts that I talk about in a practical real life business, click here to learn more. And everyone's welcome to head over to, you can see how it's all set up. If you go to katenorthrup.com and then you click on work with me, you can see the Freedom Family. And then if you click on the Freedom Family, it takes you over to the freedomfamily.net. And then you can just read the copy there, and you're welcome to opt in to the email sequence and just see exactly what I put together. And you're welcome to be inspired by that and create something similar. So that's what we've done, and that works really well for us.
That's exciting. And as far as your Facebook community, do you have people, I guess, appointed to start conversations, or is it self-sustaining as far as it is right now?
It's self-sustaining. It's really self-sustaining. We have in our group at this point, we've been at this for a while. So we have 700 members in our Team Northrup Facebook group. And that's not even close to the number of people in the downline, but that's like the active people who want to be up to stuff. And so, it's pretty self-sustaining. Like, I would say on average, we have at least 4 to 5 conversations going every single day. Some days more, some days less. And we haven't needed to have any sort of moderation for the most part. I mean, I maybe delete a post like twice a year or something. I mean, in general, everyone keeps it pretty clean and respectful. The USANA family is awesome that way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate your advice and your input on this.
Thanks so much for asking.
Kate, I noticed that your structure, thanks for sharing your structure. So your weekly thing is not necessarily a health and freedom presentation. It's a coffee hour. Yeah. That's your most consistent, I guess, face-to-face interaction, correct?
It is. Yep. It's the weekly coffee hour. That really works for us. I know a lot of people, like, I know you do a weekly health and freedom. Our team is like, we're so chill. We're very it's very nurturing, and it's very hang out based. So I think we probably grow slower as a result of that, but people stay, and I love it. So there's not, when somebody signs up, they're in, and I love that.
That's awesome. Okay. I dig that. And the low glycemic potluck party, that sounds so cool, because usually people bring crappy food to a potluck, and it's I don't want to eat that. So
oh my God, the meals are incredible what people bring. The food is so beautiful and delicious.
Wow. And then you do once a month opportunity webinar. And I noticed that you don't do anything at night. Like, you have your weekly things in the morning, your conference calls at noon. There's no evening stuff. That's pretty wild. That's something I haven't heard of.
Well, our opportunity call is in the evening, once a
That's
month.
just once a month.
Yeah, once a month. And here's the deal. I understand that for many people, it would be easier for them to attend if it was an evening thing. However, I am so sleepy in the evenings. Like, this is a very special situation that I'm up past 9 right now. And I am not my best in the evenings. And the deal is, like, I run my own business and daytime stuff works for me. And I don't want to, like, the whole point of this business is to create freedom. So I really believe that how you do it is what you get, and that the ends does not always justify the means. So for me, because I get to design my own business and my own life, I do things during the day because it works for me. I understand that it doesn't work for everybody, but when we've surveyed our team, it actually comes out about 50-50, people who want daytime versus people who want nighttime. And I know I'm of better service during the day, and so we keep it that way, and it works for us. And then we record, we of course record our calls so people can listen in later. And I figure if people want to start evening things, then they can step into leadership and do that.
I love it. Well, it's just great paradigm shift for me, especially with people that don't do late stuff. That's like, okay, here we have an example of someone who does stuff during the day and is also very successful. So thank you for that.
Sure.
All right, we have time for one more question. Oh, I have my mother, Executive Gold Director Viola Krebs from Salt Lake City, Utah. All right, I just unmuted you.
Hello, Kate.
Hi, Viola. Nice to hear you.
Yes, I'm so happy that you were able to share your story. I don't really have a question. I just want you to know that I really have admired your family in the USANA. Ever since we've started, 11 years ago, you guys were an established family in USANA. And I already had fallen in love with your mother. So I had already read her books and a huge fan. And then Phil and Penny Kirk, who, couldn't respect them.
I know.
And then there's Edna. Like Edna, your mom, or your grandma,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, she's your grandma. She's 90. She's 90.
She's 91 this year.
Oh, she's 91. Oh, yeah. We saw her at Sweet Retreat. And I was like, oh, Edna, I need to have a picture with you because she's so awesome. And I just want you to know that, I've watched your journey and I've seen you, be partners with your mom and then kind of branch out on your own and write a book. And now you're married and have a baby. And I just want you to know that you guys really inspire me and have helped me a lot in my own personal journey just by how positive you all are.
Thank you so much for that. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm still a huge fan of your mom's. I subscribe to all her stuff, and
she's awesome. I'm a huge fan too.
Yes. But if there's someone else that has a question, I really don't have a question, but I just wanted to know that I love your family, and you guys are just you add so much to the USANA family.
Thank you so much.
I'll ask a question since we got the line open. This is Randy, Jared's dad. The weekly coffee hour, is that a structured hour, or you just get together and socialize? Or
yeah, it's not structured. We just hang. Sometimes people bring questions, like almost always every single week somebody has a business question or a product question. So we always end up talking about USANA. But mostly we hang and it's great. And I've occasionally given a health and freedom presentation if we have a guest who wants to know the comp plan or, the Dr. Wentz story or whatever. But no, it's pretty unstructured. And that really works for us. We're so laid back. Mike doesn't come, my husband, to coffee hour. It kind of drives him crazy how unstructured it is, but it's like a bunch of ladies drinking tea and having lattes, and we love it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Not that it wouldn't work for men. I think it could definitely work for men as well.
Do you reserve like a room, or do you just all show up?
So we used to all show up, and then we got a little big for that. So now there actually is a great local coffee shop where we can reserve a private room, and it's been working out great.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
How big's the group?
Well, at the most, probably we've ever been like maybe 12, but on an average week, it's more like 6.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
We're intrigued by your coffee hour.
Yes.
I love that you're intrigued. Start one. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just, you know what the other thing is? It's a great no pressure. Here's what I find with at least people. I know we're at the hour, so I'll make it quick, but I find that people at first, sometimes in this business, at least our market, it takes a second for them to warm up. And if they have a place that they can keep coming every week to connect with their hearts and really connect with the other people and connect with what this business is really about, which is about service, which is about community, which is about belonging and like being part of a future that's different and, you know, having that vision for something better. If they can connect with that for a while, then they don't feel alone. And when they do begin to take the action steps to build their business, they feel really safe and more grounded, and they have that deeper belief level. So I've found it works really well for that.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, Kate, for being on this webinar. We really appreciate you taking the time, staying up late for us and sharing your story. I got so much from it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to apply the things that I loved, and I can't wait to follow you at katenorthrup.com as well. And it's just been really nice to reconnect with you. You know, really haven't chatted much since the Gold Retreat. I mean, you see each other at convention for like a minute, but
yeah,
you know, it's really cool to see how much you've grown and just hear your journey. And, you know, congratulations on your family and your solid business. It's just really cool to watch and see.
Thank you. Really a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And so with that, we're going to officially end the webinar. We usually talk and just visit with people after the webinar to hear what, you know, you liked about the webinar and highlights. Dad, before you unmute everybody, I want to actually call on some people and see what they thought of the webinar. Kate, I totally understand if you need to leave, but you are also welcome to just listen, because usually at the end of the webinar, we ask people what the highlights were for them. But we totally understand if you need to get off as well. So thank you officially, Kate. We really appreciate it. And this will be turned into a YouTube video we'll be sending to you so you can have it and, you know, use it.
Oh, great. I'll share it with the team. Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, everyone. So I'm just going to choose some random people and see what was the highlights for you on the webinar. I'm going to start with someone calling from area code 210213. I just unmuted you. Hi, welcome to the webinar. What was the highlight for you? Who's calling from area code 210213? 23? Not sure. Okay.
That would be me, Jesse Mata. I'm somebody who's
Jesse Mata.
working with, yeah, how are you, sir?
Good. Good to hear your voice. What was the highlight for you tonight on the webinar?
Likewise. Well, I joined in at the latter part of the webinar, and I was able to hear Kate, I guess her explanation of how her routine, how she built her team, and what she does to keep her team and herself successful. So I thought that was a pretty good idea, pretty neat, especially having to deal with juggle with all the other responsibilities that the majority of us have to deal with, family and so forth. So the question is, how do you maintain that balance? And so I enjoyed some of some of her perspectives with regards to how she juggles that, how she's been juggling that successfully.
Right, the coffee hour. That sounds so cool. Right? And the fact that, you know, I know how busy you are, Jesse, but if you could have your own coffee hour with people once a week, I mean, you could build your business, you know? And
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that might be what you need. So yeah, for sure. I love that. And thank you for being on our webinar tonight. And definitely we look forward to chatting with you more. We'll give you a call here after the webinar's over.
Okay, very good. And thanks for
Awesome.
Claudia for sending me the invite.
Oh, yes. Great job, Claudia. All right, let's go to the next person here. We have Stephanie Giles on the line. Stephanie, I just unmuted you. Are you there, Stephanie? I just unmuted you. Stephanie, are you there? She might have walked away from the phone. When you come back, let us know, Stephanie. We're very proud of you for your advancement to Premier Platinum Pace Setter. Let's go to Claudia Zacharias. Claudia, what was the highlight for you on the webinar tonight?
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I'm just thinking about ideas of where to meet and all this and that, and I loved her story. I love the fact that it's so she's so family oriented, and I don't know, so relaxed. As a mom, I could really relate to her so much. And I am just looking forward to, I don't know, I guess making those new power hours. I'm just really excited. I was texting Renee back and forth.
Awesome. I agree. It's really cool. The coffee hours and just the way that she runs her business. That's definitely great ideas we can apply. The low glycemic potluck sounds awesome.
It does. It does. I'm looking forward to it already.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to area code 253226. What was the highlight for you on the call?
Hi, this is Sally. I just thought she was delightful. Hi. I just thought she was delightful. I loved hearing her story. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sure.
yeah, we appreciated the fact that she was so family oriented and that she just goes forward and does the daytime meeting and gathering. And anyway, it was just a really good story. I appreciate her. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Sally. And great job this week on enrolling someone new.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy.
All right. Let's go to Carlos Gomez. What was the highlight for you, Carlos? Are you there? Mr. Carlos Gomez. Just unmuted you.
Well, I think you unmuted me, Jared.
Oh, is this Jesse?
Yeah, sir.
Oh, sir. Good to hear your voice. I'm sorry. I interpreted the number there. Jesse, what was the highlight for you tonight?
Well, actually, like everybody, I really thought the coffee thing was like awesome.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I actually really just liked her story. I mean, having a kid, going to school, and then persevering through all that, and finding the right balance and laid back nature for everything.
Yeah, very cool. Totally agree. Awesome, Jesse. Well, good to hear your voice, my man. Thanks for being on the webinar.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's go to, I think that's everybody who's still on. I'll see if Stephanie Giles. I just unmuted you again. Stephanie, are you there?
This is Philippa, not Stephanie.
Aha, Philippa. I'm sorry, I don't have everybody's phone number memorized. I'm totally confused. But Philippa, it's good to hear your voice. What was the highlight for you on the webinar tonight?
Well, all of it was great and full of great ideas, and the positivity that came through, the happiness. So when Kate was talking about how she designed her business after she decided to go out on her own to do things the way she wanted her life to be, that really struck a chord. And it makes me wonder, if you purposely design your business so that you like your life, I wonder if that would take some of that fear away from people. And that's what I'm going to try.
That's such a great way to say it. Design your business so that you like your life.
Yeah. That's what I got from what she was saying.
Man, that's like a tagline or something, you know? Design your business so that you like your life.
Yeah. I also want to know a little bit more about online branding, but I'm guessing that she got most of it through her blogging so that she became known, and then that became her brand along with the book and the show and everything like that. So
Yeah.
online branding, it sounds to me like she was saying, is just get out there and do stuff, and that's how it happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we can study from going to katenorthrup.com and, you know,
Yes.
watching it. What I do know is that you have to choose which angle you want to shoot from. Like if it's a financial angle, a personal growth angle, or a health angle, but you got to choose some angle and then you have to stick with it. So if it's health, you got to be in the long haul, health for years and years, and that's your brand. She chose finances, and that's her brand. And whatever you choose, or you choose network marketing or you choose personal growth, whatever that is, you got to commit to it. And I haven't done much of that, but it's cool to see that she has, and that she's done it with the financial aspect. That resonates with me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do, though, especially because USANA is such a great company, and all of the teams that I've met are fabulous teams, the people that get together. So you can build your brand just on a sense of community, which is something that she also did. But I like everything about USANA, so it's hard to pick one.
Right? Totally understand. Well, thank you so much for being on the webinar, Pippa. And I love what you just said. Design your business so that you like your life. That is good. I think I'm going to use that. Thank
Okay,
you.
just so long as you let us validate it up.
All right, Philippa Morian.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be able to get on one of these webinars and hear what everybody else is doing and what they're thinking. So I really like that you are able to do these on a weekly basis, even if I can't attend them all the time. It's very special, and I appreciate that all you and your mom and dad, Viola and Randy, do as well to make these possible for all of us.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for saying that.
You
All
are
right,
welcome.
guys. Thank you. All right, we're going to unmute everybody on the line. Dad, could you please unmute everybody? And we'll have everyone say good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good
Good night and
night.
God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.